Okay, champions, I know many of you also learned a lot of lessons from Roger Federer. You know, he was obviously my favorite, still is. Hopefully he's going to get back into it. But I wanted to share with you 4 tips that I learned from Roger Federer in my career. And just before I get going, I want you to understand that it's never a good idea to copy anyone. Don't try and look exactly like anyone, because you're going to find yourself in trouble. But you can use the basics that they use, and it's going to really help your game. The first thing I want you to recognize on Roger Federer's forehand here is, I want you to look at his turn. If you look at his turn, he's holding the racket head all the way until, yeah, it's almost like his left shoulder is touching his chin. Okay, many players make the mistake, they release too soon. Even some of the pros, they release too soon, but then what happens is you're not turned enough. Okay, so notice how he's turning, and only when it's properly turned. Also notice how high his racket goes, and then from there he releases. What does this do? It helps him with the turn. His racket is already up, and then from here there's momentum, and you can go into the next step of the forehand. So step 2, I want you to look at how Roger Federer, what happens after the turn. And again, I want to lead into this topic by saying, don't try and copy Roger Federer, because there aren't many players who would be able to drop their racket and have the massive lag like Roger Federer. Okay, so the butt of the racket's facing the ball, but don't try and copy it exactly, because what's going to happen is you're going to lose rhythm, and if you're going to try and look like this on contact point, you're going to find it very hard. Okay, that's why it's Roger Federer. But what you can do is you can try and have the butt of your racket head face the ball before you hit it. So find a way to have the butt of the racket face the ball, and then you can start swinging forward. Okay, if you get into a proper lag like Roger, well done. But if you don't try and force it. Okay, focus on just having the butt of the racket face the ball before you start accelerating. And also, you can also see how when you look at Roger Federer, he's always looking at the ball. So don't try and have your eyes looking at the ball when the ball hits the strings. It doesn't come naturally. If it does, well done. If not, don't try and force it. One more thing I want you to notice on tip 2 is just before he hits it, look at his left arm. It's not over here, it's not pulling. He's keeping everything compact together right before contact point. Tip number 3, champions, I want you to notice Roger Federer's rotation. So he's gone through the first 2 steps. I want you to notice how after contact point he does not break his wrist this way. However, his wrist stays a little bit cocked back, and then he goes over the ball this way. Okay, watch again. So contact point, he goes over the ball this way. He never does this. What this is going to allow you to do is get a lot of spin over the ball. And again, this all happens fluently. It happens automatic for Roger. But understand that he doesn't break his wrist this way. After contact point, this happens that way. So wrist is a little bit, you don't play around with the wrist too much. Cocked back and then over the ball. Very important tip. And then let's go on to the last step, guys. Once again, I did touch on it previously, but everyone always talks about Roger Federer, how he keeps his head still. How is Roger Federer able to keep his head still and watch the ball even on contact point on the strings and then release? I mean, this happens so quick. How is he doing it? Not even Djokovic, not many players can do that. Again, it is very hard because things happen so quick, but what you can take out of it is that he doesn't pull his head away. So you don't have to be and look exactly like Roger Federer on contact point, but what you can focus on is keeping your head still and balanced. Okay, if you're looking up a little bit after contact point, that's fine. Don't try and copy him exactly. But what I want you to notice on this little picture here is after contact point, look how he stays, and then now the right shoulder almost touches the chin. So if you go from the beginning to the end, he's going from his left shoulder, and then he swings to the right shoulder. So the rotation, upper body rotation, is happening while the head is staying in one place. Guys, that's what I got from Roger Federer. I hope you enjoyed my little lesson with Roger Federer. If you really want to go on to Roger Federer, obviously uses a Eastern forehand grip. I've got 2 amazing tips for you that can help you on your Eastern forehand grip on the video that you see on the screen right now. Please support me by subscribing.